All right, here we are. Ah, a touch of an early start today, um, just because I can, thanks to the good work of the rest of my family, who are off doing things, taking care of business. There's a shout out to our audio from Tabletop Audio. Tonight, I've got a couple of doors. We got these Fat Dragon Games corner doors tiles to paint up. I think I'm going to paint up this guy as well. This giblet. Giblet? Is that what they're called? I think so. The giblet. First things first, I might do these doors and then the wood of the giblet. Might kind of put these over there. Or whatever. There. And work on these doors, which I've taken some extra pieces of plastic and made little holders so I can paint them more easily. Right. Hey, Grizzly. The chosen one of the malefic viper. Doors, yeah. So, yeah, painting some tiles tonight. Too much of this wood. So these are Fat Dragon Games tiles, right? And actually, how these work is work like this. Push this on. Okay, yeah. So see, there is a dungeon tile, right? It's a corner door. Zoink. Open and close. Fits to another dungeon tile. Can go like that up next to it, etc., etc. But these are just doors from my tile system, my Fat Dragon Games tile system. And yeah, I'm gonna paint those doors tonight. I think. Might also paint this giblet I have here. We'll see how far I get with these things. There's the cage for the giblet. Yeah, they're movable. They are movable. These little guys there. So this was I printed this today or yesterday in 3 different parts. The base is printed. There's a mid-level part, and you print these little clips for the doors. The doors go on them. Totally movable. Most of my tiles are from Fat Dragon Games, which is a really great job. It's just a really great company. Tom Tolis, the guy who owns it, runs it, is super responsive to requests and comments by people. Help. Oh, okay, already out. Okay, that's all right, Grizzly. You're off to work, eh? I know it's early morning in Europa. So I assume maybe you've seen what the Trump administration thinks of Europeans. God, they're fucking idiots. Anyway, good work, man. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for coming by the way, on our Sunday for that D&D game here at home. So thanks for coming for that. Right. What are we doing? Okay, doors. I made some brown paint. And I got, here is a painted giblet, right? I think they're called a gibbet, not a giblet. A giblet's something in a turkey. Bad dragon. So here's a gibbet, right? When I previously done gibbets. There's actually a figure in there. So this comes off like that. This is pressure fit into this thing. Actually, I cut these cages so I can open them up like that and put minis inside. These gibbets they're usable gibbets. There's a hag. Here's the gibbet cage, blood splatters, etc. in it. I cut the gibbet cage when I printed it out, so I can just pressure fit that back in there, like that. Kind of put this back up in there. There we are. And there's our gibbet. Our finished gibbet. That's another one. Anyways, I'll put this aside. Up here, the hag. And we will find some color to paint these doors and gibbet wood. What do we got? A variety of paints here. Browns. I could use my Brigadine brown. It's a Warhammer paint. I don't know. I got these orange, browns, black, red. No, I got saddle brown, flat brown, Calvary brown, smoke, umber. I thought I had more paint or stuff. Maybe it's just this one. That burgundy brown's kind of dark. I want something lighter, so this one too. Fur brown. Saddle brown. I might use my fur brown and add a bit of white to it to make it a little bit lighter, and see what that does. I'll be using this paintbrush. I'm just gonna be slapping stuff on, frankly. Okay. Let me mix this paint up over here with my Vortex shaker. I'm drinking my Negroni. I'm gonna lighten stuff a bit with a bit of white. So here's fuck. Already painted fur brown. I'm gonna use some white on there to make it a bit lighter. Mix that white up over with my Vortex shaker. The Vortex shaker is off screen. It's not exciting. It's also just easy to put on the windowsill over here than anywhere else. Okay, so there's that. Some white. Now, I need a paper towel. Fortunately, I come prepared. Oh, this brush is not really doing very well. Okay, I got some a little bit lighter paint here for door wood. I'm going to paint one side of these doors really fast. Flip it over, paint the other side. That's a pretty pink looking wood. Hopefully that'll look better when I agrax it. I guess I'll agrax it with, it's really pink, Christ. I'm going to paint one side of them. It's a really pink wood door. Nothing against pink in general, but for doors, I don't know if that works for me. I don't think I'll paint the gibbet with the same color. I can mix it. I'll add some more brown to this and see what it does. Okay, set that right there. Yeah, let me add some more. Some more brown. Pretty proud of these little door holders I have. This is just some excess brim from a print job earlier today. I fold up and smash into the door. This is a better color. God, yeah, this one still. I don't know how excited I am about these door colors. I'm not going to worry about it. Because really, this is really just dungeon tiles. So whatever happens to him is okay. Actually, that's going to be strapped. Okay, there's another one. These two dungeon tile doors. Wow, they're really different colors. Hopefully, I'm just going to do a pure fur brown on this one. See what it looks like. I don't know. Pretty ugly. Wow, really? Cheap viewers? Fucking awesome. I love cheap viewers. Yeah, block. Ban. I'm gonna ban you. You're banned. Thank you. I don't really need viewers. Don't do this for the... Not my day job, as I like to say. Okay, now this is just a pure Army Painter fur brown. I'm using on this door here. And I will definitely won't be washing these in Agrax. That's my homemade Agrax. Someone dinged my phone. I don't know what it says. Okay, all these doors are different colors, and none of them do I like. None at all. Actually, I have to watch what I'm doing because the colors need to be the same on both sides, don't they? Yes, need to watch that. Okay. Open to the basement of the doors. Hey, baptize! This is the clothing optional paint seminar. I'm glad you made it. I can see you're inappropriately dressed in pants. How you doing, my man? It's been a long time. Yeah, the clothing optional paint seminar. Speaking of, I'm just gonna. So, as you may recall, baptized, I'm a university professor, and you may not know that. And also, I ride a motorcycle every day to work. And last year, I think it was, I was late to my lecture, and I drove right to the university, and I just got off the bike and ran to the lecture theater in all my rain gear, and a bunch of students were outside, lecture theater, and blah 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 blah. And I wanted to ask you some questions, and I love saying this. I was like, just stop, just let me take off my pants, get off my rain pants. That was the highlight of my year that year. So you just got done with our gaming. Oh, all right, awesome. So you're in the Twin Cities, I believe. Who that I know have you tattooed recently? Anything on Shelly or Dave? Remember that? How was your game too, by the way? doors aside, and this one is like that. Ashley. Okay, okay. Ex Guild Superior. I did think about that a couple weeks ago. I was watching some Guild Superior thing, you know, the Outlaws or the Shadows, blah blah blah. I was wondering, hey, I haven't seen Ashley for a long time. Doesn't seem like she's playing with them anymore. She took a break from Guild Superior or whatever. Yeah, it seems. And she's in your group now. You guys with your fancy green screen setup and everything. How'd the game go tonight, anyways? Is another topic. Okay, fair enough. I just kind of briefly kind of thought about that a couple days ago, or maybe a week ago. I was like, hey, I haven't seen her. I guess because I was thinking about Gary Con. I met her at Gary Con. I met Ashley at Gary Con last year, and I kind of thought, wait a second, because Gary Con was just last week. Wait a second, I haven't seen her on Guild Superior for a long time. So what's going on there? It's quite all right. Mm-hmm. Oh, from its way fit right. Good, awesome. Over Christmas holidays, when I was back in the States, I played with a bunch of my high school buddies, not high school, like an intermediate school, grade school buddies, and we started up a new game. So we are playing non-streamed, not streamed, but we are playing first edition Greyhawk D&D. We've had one session so far. Our next session is in maybe in 2 weeks. It's super fun, super fun. Dave has like all kinds of games going. Eidolons, Outlaws of Greyhawk, Shadows of Greyhawk, something else. I think last time I talked to him, I was like, dude, where do you find the time? I mean, I'm like, God. I kind of play once a week and paint minis once a week. And, I mean, I do lots of, I mean, I also kind of, I mean, those are my streamed things. And I also do other stuff, and, you know, I have a life, and I do indeed do other D&D stuff, not streamed, and I still have no fucking time. Carnival, I know it started. What's Carnival? Nice. What's your session right now? Are you DMing? I don't think you're from what I've seen of your YouTube stuff, you're not the DM, right? Another person is. Oh, that's you. Okay. I was thinking like that was the name of a module or something like that, a game. Well, I have seen that. Well, is Carnival like a play on words? Like Carnival? Because you guys are all kind of, I would say, somewhat be costumed as evil carnies. At least you are with your clown stuff. Is that a legitimate observation? I should know this, perhaps. Oh, 10 of these. Okay. Definitely evil. Evil carnies. Actually, there's no other kind of carny but an evil carny, but that's alright. Okay, I painted those doors in a first pass wood. Now I'm going to paint the gibbet. I gotta let those dry, and then I'm gonna wash them, probably hair dryer after I wash them, and dry brush them, and then paint the metal bits on. So I'm going to put these over here, and I'll paint the wood of this gibbet. Lots of hags. There you go, right there. There's a hag for you. A wee hag that I painted some time ago. Behorned hag. Okay, you DM Strahd on Sundays, but that's not what you. That's not on your YouTube. I'm looking at my other gibbet here to see how I'm going to paint this one. And I think I should use a kind of similar paint scheme. So I'm going to use this paint for the wood. Hey, thank you. I actually have a bunch of hags. Well, I'm not going to get them out, but I have like 4 hags, I think. This one I painted a long time ago. But, here she is, all haggy. I should do the eyes better. I painted this a long time ago. Cool mini though. I just like the humpback kind of action there. Okay, see you baptized. Yeah, good to see you. It's been a long time. Yeah, I haven't really seen you on Dave's stuff. I think so much recently. Superior Adventure's good. I mean, but yeah, we'll be in touch, man. Always like your Instagram posts. Mm-hmm. Go to bed. Get some sleep. It's early here. It's only 7:34 in the PM. Hey, Vavoid! Thanks for the raid, man. Welcome in, Vavoid Raiders. Welcome in, Dungeon Sport survivors. Or not survivors. Watchers. Anyway. I was watching Vavoid a bit ago before I started my own stream, so Wednesday nights. It is Wednesday night in New Zealand, which is where I live. And so Wednesday nights in New Zealand are for painting minis. And streaming that and talking about all kinds of stuff. Mostly tabletop role-playing games, etc. A couple of you who are here who don't know of Vavoid, let's shout him out and go give him a follow, please. As I said, Vavoid does Dungeon Sports, so a stream where every week players battle monsters in a kind of Colosseum-like atmosphere, and I believe every week they go up a level, and I'm pretty sure it lasts about 20 weeks or so each of your each of your kind of quote-unquote seasons, right? So first, second, third, fourth, something like that. They go up a level every session, I believe, and then it starts all over again. Isn't that right? Hey, Excel, you were at Vavoid's channel? Good to see you. And thank you guys for being here. And so, yeah, I'm just painting a variety of things tonight. I'm painting this gibbet. And it has an attached cage to it that pressure fits into. It says pressure fits. God damn it! Pressure fits into the stand. I printed this out and manipulated it so it opens up, so you can put a mini in there. I'm also painting a series of doors, just some dungeon tiles, some door dungeon tiles. Fat Dragon Games dungeon tiles. Here they are. Here's one of the tiles, a door hinge, and some doors down there. So much pressure. A gibbet, you say? It is a gibbet, not a giblet, but a gibbet. And here's a previously done gibbet. What they look like when they're done. And that's why I actually had the hag out, because I can undo that pressure fit. Pull it open. Pop open the gibbet cage. Pop a ne'er-do-well PC in the gibbet cage. Put that back on, just as I said, pressure fit. And now we have a PC Mini in a gibbet for everyone else to throw apples and rotten tomatoes at. Put that back there. I get going on this one. Oh, you're waiting for me? Okay. Excited session, nice. So we had our boss fight Sojant session. You missed 3.5 hours of what session? Oh, the session, that's right. Mad Mardigan started out in a crow's cage. That sounds correct, as a matter of fact. Oh boy, that sounds correct. I know, so our Sojant session was actually a lot of talk. They spent the PC spent the first hour just planning and prepping, without any kind of real action on the table, which is fine. That's what part of D&D is, just resource management, which I don't mind that. I like that part of D&D, resource management. And then they really kicked the shit out of the boss, and I was kind of fuck. No matter what I do to make the fights tough, they cakewalk through them. And so that fight they cakewalked through, they were all flying, and so that negated all of the creatures that couldn't fly, that were on the bottom, on the floor. So yeah, it was not good for the monsters, good for the PCs. But they defeated Drelmza. They left Lost Cows and Sajkant and went back to Gnome Valley. Yeah, they seriously fucking rolled the big bad. Seriously. It's like, god damn it. I actually spent a lot of time worrying that I made it too tough, but that was certainly not the case. So, Void, what's like your track record with, like, how many times do your players in your Dungeons Force do they get killed? Or do you have a rule when they get killed? When they get killed, they can kind of start again, but at a lower level. What are your rules on that? If it's too complicated to talk about on chat, it's totally fine. I understand. Chat kind of sucks for conversations. I can just talk, but you guys are chatting, so I understand. I'm trying to paint this as fast as I fucking can. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. But Excel, I'm glad you came. I saw you there. Thanks for coming by, anyways. Even a little bit there. I do appreciate it. Very much so. Okay. Painting the gibbet, as they say. That sounds like a euphemism for something. I'm painting the gibbet. But it's not. I really am just painting the gibbet. It's not a euphemism for something gross. Or natural, as some would say. Really kill players who act like they want their PCs to be in real danger, but none of the players have to. Yeah, I agree with you, Void. Yeah, people talk a big game, but if you come close to killing them, they can get all pissy. Dude. So, Excel, you were playing a game on your Saturday? DMing? Playing? Both? Neither? Kind of hard to be neither if you're actually playing a game, I guess. God, I haven't even started my beer drinking yet. One a season. And so what happens when they get killed? Are they just done and goodbye? Or do you let them rejoin at like a lower level or with some kind of difficulty, handicap attached to that? Oh, they lose equipped items, okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think when I've had these primed and ready to paint gibbet. I've had this gibbet here ready to paint. I'd say for a year. And just like I've had the one, I finished one. I never used them in a game yet. So there wasn't really a kind of desperate need to paint these gibbets, but it's just been staring at me. My pile of shame. Trish Talker! That's right. But Trish Talker, I realize now. So Trish Talker Excel. Trish Talker was one of the players who destroyed the vampire in um, Lost Caverns. But okay, so no, recovering sleep, invest with Copilot. Copilot can method creating characters. It was better if you text it and treat it as an editor. Okay, Copilot as in the Microsoft AI thing. It did, Trish Tucker. It did. You're down. You're jump. So, Trish Tucker, I was given your comment on Discord. I didn't realize that you didn't know that Drelsna was actually a vampire. For some reason, I thought that was obvious, but it's just that's fine. Not obvious, but I thought that was known in the battle because bit you did necrotic damage, blah blah. I didn't describe fangs. You're right, but I guess what is unknown still is the position of the other woman, or the reality, I guess I could say. So, is the other woman that we talked about the Hyronian, the Paladin of Hyronius? Does she exist? Did you encounter her in the face of Drelmza? Did you not encounter her at all? Yeah, is she a figment of someone's imagination? So all that is all still uh, I would say unknown, if I may be so bold as to say that. Yeah, so I mean I have my lore and background and what I currently know to be true. But that kind of changes depending on what you guys do. I mean, I don't tell you. I don't say, wow, you've now changed this lore that I did have and now no longer exists. I never say that. But, yeah. Personally, I like to think that it is unresolved whether or not that Paladin of Hyronius was real or not. If she exists or not. If you may find her someday or not. I like to leave that open, if I may. Ask why is Android 19 and 20 are more dangerous than Android 16. And then I asked the second pretext question, why are Android? You can. Oh, wow! And how'd that work out with Copilot Excel? It's like something you could ask ChatGPT as well, right? Okay. I've never used Copilot. How's it different from ChatGPT, which I do use to kind of help me write R code and to kind of think about questions to ask my university students. So it's really similar. The Void Copilot is essentially ChatGPT, or very similar. Gosh, this is going through this brown pet like nobody's business. Okay, I'm still painting this. Okay. Okay, now ChatGPT is, I forget the name of the company, it's Sam Altman or whatever, but so they're not sold out to somebody yet. But it's only a matter of time, right? I mean, not because anyone's being bad. It's hard to imagine if I was a computer genius and I invented something like ChatGPT, would I sell it out for a high bidder and then do other things? Probably not. Most people like that are, I'm assuming, are kind of like their whole deal is like they're not gonna like create something and then abandon that life and just go off into the sunset on their RV in their caravan. They are good at what they do. They invent stuff like ChatGPT, etc. That's what they do. That's what they want to do. Okay, there's the wood for that gibbet. It's pretty much done. Put that aside. Just the wood. I still think you should put your D&D session notes. No, I haven't done it yet, Trish Talk. You're right. I have that email from you. Okay, 20 I gotta try it. I have the email that you sent me with the link in my, on my email list there. Haven't done it yet, obviously, but I will. I'll do that. Yeah, I want to try it out too. I do. Curious. So Excel, one adventure idea was like combine Asimov's themes with the Rakasha. So Asimov's themes in terms of robots. Robot Rakasha. Rakshasa, I mean, yes, as a villain, Rakshasa uses markets trade. It comes to marketplace, create nice few steps for a short adventure idea. Maybe I should use. I mean, I have used Chat GPT for adventure ideas before. I don't think I've ever used, but I've typed it in. Give me a 4-hour one shot that involves goblins and a hidden relic, and bam, it produces them for you in 4 seconds. Okay, I might in a second get these to dry more, and then I'm gonna these door. I made a bunch of doors too. Doors for these dungeon tiles here. Get those doors to dry more, and then put some agrax on them. While this dries, while that dries, I'm gonna paint some gray on these dungeon tiles. I got all kinds of stuff going on, which allows me to kind of move from one little thing to the next while stuff dries. So right now, I gotta paint some gray on these tiles, on these door hinges right there. See where I spray paint didn't get it. I can see. So Rakshasas. They are lawful evil creatures, if I remember correctly, and they are seriously duplicitous. Um, they are big liars. They are big fakes. They win through chicanery, if I may say so. I'm gonna go get a beer. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Well, I'll be back in 20 seconds. I'm back. I think those are. Yeah. Trish Tucker. I don't know. Yeah. Raksasha. I don't know. Indian mythology. I mean, honestly. Hey, Ryufu. Thanks for the raid, man. Um, I don't know. I mean, it certainly seems. That'd be my guess too. Look it up on. Someone look it up. Are Rakshasa kind of Indian mythology? Not to say Hindu, but subcontinent. Hey, ooh, really? Oh, cool. The Lazy Wizard. Hey, Raifu. Good to see you here. Those of you who are here, lots of people here from Vavoid. Um, Vavoids, folks, if you would do us a favor and check out Raifu's uh, Twitch stream. Raifu is a D&D streamer, and a lot of their streams have to do with, well, not a lot, what I see, kind of creating rule sets, extended rules for 5e. I mean, massive tomes on things like magic components and kind of wilderness play, all kinds of stuff. Really extending the rule set for 5e playing. I think that's how I describe Ryufu stuff. So, Nintardo, Ryufu, thanks for coming in, guys. Ryufu, you know Vavoid. A bunch of Vavoids folks are here. We are just doing our normal Wednesday night mini painting stream. And tonight, well, drinking beer as usual, but tonight I'm painting a variety of things. I'm painting some corner door tiles from Fat Dragon Games, dungeon tiles. These have doors that go on them. Here are the doors. I'm also painting a gibbet. There's the gibbet stand I'm painting, and of course the cage for the gibbet. I kind of paint one thing, let it dry. While it's dry, I move to the next thing, etc. I do think there is certainly, well, absolutely. I wonder. I think it's thinking of kind of like knowing other D&D streamers. I kind of wonder how many clicks there are, because yeah, I mean, I know there's D&D streamers, people who stream live play, people who stream VTT play, people who stream kind of like world creation and that kind of stuff. There's miniature painters, which is a subset or adjacent. They're both adjacent to each other. So there's people who do mini painting who don't play D&D, but maybe paint Warhammer, or they paint minis just to paint them, but still don't play D&D. There's that group. And so, yeah, there's lots of, I have painted a gibbet once before, Ryufu. Here it is. There's a painted gibbet. And the unpainted twin has been sitting around forever. So, trying to get it painted tonight. You know, I got lots of minis, and in various stages. Wow, lots of artists out there. But all that said, good to have both Ryufu and your people here, and Vavoid and your people here, and Excel, and Trish Talker, who's a player in my home game, our Greyhawk game, which we of course stream on Sunday midday, New Zealand Sunday midday, kind of North America Saturday night. And in case you want to know what happened in the last session of our Sunday Greyhawk game, I'll do that, and that takes you to our World Anvil page where there's session reports for the last 65 sessions, which equals about 2 years, maybe 2.5 years of D&D play. This is a new beer, McLeod's West Coast Nights India Pale Ale. McLeod's is an awesome brewery up in Waipu, kind of Upper North Island. God, they do good beer. I've never seen this one before, so I bought it today. It's folks drinking beers and playing around a beach fire, which that time is kind of passing in New Zealand. We're moving to the end of our summer. Right after you're right, they are a chore. They are a chore, and I've written them for years. They're part chore and they're part chore and part joyful. And I just, yeah, sometimes they are a chore and I gotta get them out. And sometimes they write themselves and I enjoy it. But usually I'm so pressed for time in most of my life that they're just one more thing. It takes a lot of time. Um, I tell you what, I have another game right now that I'm playing with some old friends, and we don't stream it, and we play on Discord. And um, I wrote a session report for our first session we've had so far, and I forgot to fucking advertise my thing tonight. Um, and it was actually really fun to write. So let me really quickly um, I'm going to try to get. First, I'm going to try to promote some stuff here. Let me try to see if I can post a link to this session report I wrote for my other group, not not the group you're with, Trish Talker, but a different group. And I don't know if I can just put an easy link to that. I know, or not. Let me go. Let me see how to do this real fast if I can do it. Can I put a link to that? Let me see. That one, and there should be a fucking. No, here it is. Okay, yes. How do I? How do I post a link to this somehow? Copy message link. I don't. Hey, could someone see if they can check out this message? See if you can go to this Discord message, if someone would, to see if it's in a private channel, but I copied the link to this, and I don't know if it's if that makes it viewable to anyone who has the link or not. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to paint gray on these. I'm just going back and forth from a variety of different things I'm painting tonight. I think sea gray is the closest match for this. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Then delete that. Then never mind about that. If I posted the entire, it's a short little thing, but it'd be too long. I mean, I could post it, but it would take up the entire chat window if I posted it. Thank you for checking it out, Trish Tucker. You know what? Speaking of, why didn't I think about this before? I have to do something here. Yeah, I have to do something really quickly. No. Okay. How do I find you on here? Okay. Wait. Roles manager. Okay, never mind. Trish Talker, I'm trying to do something here. Give me 1 second. What? Huh. Trish Talker, I'm trying to make you a moderator. Okay? Because you really should be. I'm trying to see. Okay. Oh no, I know it. Sorry. Not like this is some incredible opportunity, but don't know how to do it. No, I think. I mean, I do like session reports too. I do. I do. Raifu is right. They are not a chore, but they take. Yeah, but I know he is. I gotta figure out how to make you, Trish Talker, a um, a moderator. And my roles manager. I don't. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to add new. Add new. Okay, okay. There we are. Hold on. There you are. You should now be a moderator, Trish Talker. I don't know if you type something else in chat, it might give you the moderator symbol, which is a little sword next to your. There it is. All that means is you can like ban people and blah 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 and approve messages that are held back by the chat bot, etc., etc. Honestly don't know what else you can do. But your power is limitless. Fucking limitless. Tell me what you can do. I don't even know. Yeah, I could easily remove fucking Cafe from the old moderator list. Oh, he's right. He's in Cyprus right now, isn't he? There you go. Look at that. You got a moderator badge. Okay, no. So making you a moderator forces you to view ads. That's what we've learned. No, I didn't say anything important. Hey, thanks for bringing people in, Ryuthu. I know it's late where you are, but thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. That's way too light. Need darker gray than that. Okay, fair enough. You probably have more power here than you do in your PhD meetings. So, nah, none of your PhD folks are watching this. Like, trust me. Melinda does not watch my. I know. Thane actually does have a Twitch handle, and Thane, I think, years ago came on briefly. I think it was when he was on GMI, and I had got a bunch of students on GMI to watch. And he was like, "What is this?" Yeah. So watch out, Thane may be here. I need to paint this stuff here. I'm painting some of this my tile stuff. Yeah. He would. Thane would be an evil gnome wizard. He totally would. That is Thane. Yes, total evil. So I'm going out to GMI. I will not next weekend. I won't be here next. Oh, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after, like 3 through 6 April. I'm going to GMI, so I won't be here for D&D. But maybe I should. It's like me, Thane, Matt Preble, one other guy from Canterbury, I think, and Jaya for some stuff on her MA. Maybe I should bring out some D&D stuff and make them play a D&D game, like a 1 hour, 2 hour one shot, pre-gen characters. That'd be funny. I could do it. Matt, Matt, you're right. He's totally rogue. You're right. Totally a rogue. Holy shit. He's like a gnome or dwarf rogue, is what he is. Abso-friggin-lutely. Or no, or Matt, or no, actually better, Trish Tucker. Matt's fuck. What are the mages that are totally unpredictable? He's a sorcerer. Matt's a sorcerer who never knows what goddamn spell he's casting because it's just up for grabs. That's what he is. Or a rogue. No, I thought what I meant is he's a wild mage sorcerer is what I meant. Because he casts a spell and who the fuck knows what's really going to happen. Chaotic good, wild mage sorcerer. That's Matt Preble. Sorry, we're talking about friends of ours who are essentially chaotic good. Um, uh, yeah, clowns, but in the best sense. Clowns. That's not. Clowns is not a good way to put it. Look at that moderator badge. Just jumps out at you now. God. Okay, I'm doing a little black here, just on the base of the gibbet. Because I like it to look clean. I like the base of my terrain pieces to be pretty, even the thing that no one sees. Because when you pick it up, you're like, oh, gross. It's like unpainted on the bottom. I want it to be somewhat nice looking, at least a little bit. Just a little bit of black. No, a black base. That's all. I'll put that like that. So it dries. Now I'm going to wash the doors, at least one side of the doors, in Agrax or Shade. So there they all are. Wash them in Agrax. I'm going to use my homemade Agrax. Homemade Agrax. I need a pot to put the homemade, a pot to piss in, as they say. So Agrax Earthshade is a Citadel shade or wash paint. Here it is. This costs about, I don't know, if this costs $7 or is it $11? I can't tell. This is 18 milliliters. But I started to make my own using inks and flow improver and matte medium and water. I still do not have it perfect yet. I don't have a really good recipe, but this is the bottle. I haven't got the flow improver ratio down yet, but it works for now. Okay. So now I am homemade Agrax earth shading this door, at least one side of it. And we'll see how it dries. So there it is. There's a door with homemade Agrax. Mhm. Another door with homemade agrax on it. I might get the hairdryer out later to make sure these guys dry nicely. I'm just doing one side of them because let them dry. I can do the other side. So this agrax earthshade looks, homemade agrax looks really, really good, but it doesn't flow correctly. On a flat surface like this, it'll be fine. It'll dry and be just perfect. But on a vertical surface, it doesn't adhere and flow, both those things being opposites, I would mean to suggest, in the same way that Citadel Agrax Earthshade flows. And I really want to mimic that. So here's these doors. I'm Agrax Earthshade them. You can see that one in particular. Sorry, that one looks really nice. And that will dry. Then I'll flip it to the other side. That. So I'm shading this because the shade will dry, and then I'll dry brush the wood, and then as a last, I will do the metal on it. So that's another door that I've washed one side of it to give it the kind of shaded look. So put those aside, cover up, I guess, recover my pot of homemade agrax, put that aside. And now what can I move on to? Can I move on to dry brushing? Or rather, I might give us a second still. The gibbet. I could do the gibbet cage. It's going to take some time. I can do the gibbet cage, or I could start doing the tiles on these guys. It's really 6 one, half dozen the other. I think I might do this cage. And then I'll move to those tiles again. A lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts. But thank you all for being here. My beer can back there. Oof. 8:17. It's not, Trish Talker, but you're right. In the current state of play, it might be. No, this is a cage from a gibbet, which actually I've never used in play yet. But here's one of my gibbets, and it's painted. This is one of my gibbets. I've had this gibbet for a long time, and so this is what's called a gibbet. A cage where you hold prisoners, hanging from like that, and actually, the cage pops off. I can pop the cage off like that. Here's the gibbet, painted one. The cage I made big enough, and I actually kind of cut the cage apart so the door is pressure fit. I can pop the door off, and inside I can put a mini inside, right? So, or one of you bad people can put you in the gibbet, and then pop the door back on. I think I first painted this gibbet, printed and painted them because I thought they were so friggin' cool. Maybe when you guys were kind of approaching Durgan's Folly, my first big castle, there's just never been a time when this has been an appropriate prop. So I haven't used it ever, but I printed out 2 of them a long time ago, and I painted this one, don't know, 6 months or a year ago. And this one I'm just painting tonight. I mean, I've had it printed out for a long time. Never got around to painting it, though. About time now. So yeah, that's what a gibbet is. Like a gibbet, G-I-B-B-E-T, medieval torture device, essentially, is what a gibbet is. Nice. I thought, okay, I really just wanted to, the last couple of days I printed out these tiles, dungeon tiles. I've been printing out cavern tiles like a madman for the last months because we've been in lost caverns of Saj camps, right? And so I'm always needing cavern tiles. I haven't printed dungeon tiles for a long time. And I kind of miss printing and painting dungeon tiles. I thought, okay, I can always use more doors and more corner pieces. And so I started printing out this last couple of days, a bunch of these corner tiles. And these are actually three pieces. There's the base piece, there's a mid piece, there's this door hinge, and then there's a lintel on top. So these are like 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 4 pieces that print and then glue together and then prime and then paint. And so they are, I could get another. Actually, I do need to get a piece. I need to find. Sorry, folks. I am off in another regions here trying to find some dungeon tiles that I need to. Here we go. So here's the dungeon tile paint scheme I use. Here's one of these Fat Dragon Games dungeon tiles. Yep. And so this is the kind of thing that will, go up against it like that. Like that, etc. This is the paint scheme I use for these dungeon tiles. This is probably Baylor Brown and Tau Light Ochre. And then Known oil across the top, and dry brushed with Eldar flesh. Those paints. Okay, now painting this guy. Painting that cage. And that cage over there, I don't know what, but I might use oily steel. That's the paint I used for that one, and it can be slightly different. It doesn't matter if the two cages are different in terms of their paint, because oily steel versus what else might I have used? I might have used natural steel. I'll use natural steel because I probably used that to paint the last one. Natural steel I'll use to paint this cage. Of course, the floor will be wood, etc. And we'll get back to the things we have here arrayed in front of us. I don't know if I'll finish this stuff tonight or not. It's kind of hard to tell. But at any rate, I'm going to paint the gibbet cage now. I'm kind of curious what, Wikipedia says about a gibbet. Let's read. Maybe there's a time frame for gibbets, like when they were used. Okay, this is a gibbet. Okay, gibbetine. Oof. Yeah. According to Wikipedia, a gibbetine is the use of a gallows-type structure from which the dead or dying bodies of criminals were hanged on public display to deter other existing or potential criminals. So it's kind of like the death penalty. In other words, fucking useless. Occasionally the gibbet was, well, actually I bet the gibbet would be better than the death penalty, frankly. Gibbeting might actually work in that regard to deter crime. Whereas, as we know, the death penalty does not. Occasionally the gibbet was also used as a method of public execution. Ugh. With the criminal being left to die of exposure, thirst, and or starvation. practice of placing a criminal on display within a gibbet is also called hanging and change. Gibbeting was a common law punishment which a judge could impose in addition to execution as a sentence for murder. This practice was codified in England by the Murder Act of 1751. It was most often used for traitors, robbers, murderers, highwaymen, and pirates. So 1750s, people were gibbeted in England. Oh my God. So some of these pictures of gibbet, oh, there's one. Let me show you a picture of a gibbet from Italy. So we can see what this looks like. I just want to see what a gibbet from Italy looks like. Here is a real-life gibbet. That gibbet is hanging at the main gate in Perugia, Italy, of Correciano. So there's a real-life gibbet. Ugh. I'd like to be placed in that and just until you die of exposure, starvation, or thirst. Exactly. Maybe Mona can find us a gibbet and take some pictures of it. Anyway. So gibbets are real things back in the 1800s. Or rather, 18th century. And perhaps earlier, but I'm just going by Wikipedia. So, as we know, Wikipedia is not truth, but yeah, a bleak time. God, indeed. Think of the punishments that and just life that occurred. Seriously, bleak time. I don't know, I have not read Steven Pinker's Better Angels of Our Nature, but I know Steven Pinker argues that we have become less violent over time. It, of course, depends on how you kind of conceptualize violence, because, you know, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki was pretty fucking violent by, I think, pretty much anyone's estimation. So I don't know. Right. Let's paint this gibbet. Gibbet cage. I guess the whole thing's a gibbet. Cager now. But I'm going to first paint the cage. Sorry, not very exciting. So, Trish Talker. What do you think about this weekend? I really, as I said in a Discord note, I don't have an immediate plan for next session. I can dream something up pretty fast. It might be kind of ham-fisted. But, I don't know, I didn't see anyone respond yet for play this weekend. The next 2 weekends after this weekend, I cannot play. Because the following weekend, I'm on GMI. And the weekend after that, actually Sunday, I am playing with my Port Townsend homies. My moonlighting against you guys. So, it's kind of this weekend or not for 2 weeks. So I'm thinking either a kind of side questy one-shot with your current characters, just, based on a Gnome Vale, or something totally different. I don't know. Side questy, we could do a side questy. It's a serious little one-shot, nothing, obviously it'll link in, you'll all be there. It's not going to be like you're transported to a different land, but it's, it's just something kind of like, something fun and perhaps inconsequential. Perhaps inconsequential, but we never know. And we should have a last. We should do a. I was thinking Andy leaving. If he leaves, if Andy does get that job and leaves, we should definitely do a last in-person session, and then maybe all go up to Street Feast or something like that, and just drink beers and have dinner. You know, eat pizza, drink beers, etc. We've done that before as a last session in my previous campaign with Andy and Chris Grubb and Sam. We all after at the final battle, the end of a 2-year campaign, we all went to Street Feast and just had pizza and beers. It was fun. Chris Grubb came up from Christchurch, and he stayed the night at my house. We did that. So we should be really, if Andy does indeed leave, it'd be nice to do that, I think. So that's what I'm hoping to do. Or maybe Andy would prefer to do it at his house, although it's kind of, jeez. And after D&D, we just hang out and drink beers and eat pizza. But gosh, someone's always got to drive home, so that's kind of the difficult part. When you're saying let's just drink copious amounts of alcohol, it's hard to say, and you have to drive home, but none of us do. So fucking good luck. Good luck. Hope you survive. Yeah, shocking that Andy's. Yeah, I'm really shocked that Andy's gonna leave. I mean, I guess he may not leave, but he said he would be pretty downcast if he didn't get that job. The cat. Actually, the cat. They're multiple cats, right? Oh, Alex will take him. Let's give him to Alex. Right? She's a sucker. I mean, a good person. Okay, now I'm painting this guy, which is difficult because I've done a lot of paint. Fuck. Yeah, gibbets. We should introduce gibbets at university for underperforming students. Should have to get in the gibbet, and we can hang it from the ceiling of the atrium, and everyone could laugh at them as they walk by. I think that'd be a good thing. It would encourage good scholarship. Yeah. If you don't if you get a C, you're fucking hung in the gibbet just for a day or two. Not that big a deal, frankly. Build character. Exactly, get in the gibbet. Oh, maybe I should do that for some. That's it. So I'm trying to think about how I can. Trish, I don't know if you, Nick Malone's kind of his end of year research event last year. We all gave like lightning 7-minute talks. Not all of us, but like 20 people did. And then we went to our end of year luncheon. Maybe I could do something like, the audience votes on who is in the gibbet. So you give your talk, and if your talk sucks, you get in the gibbet. And then the next person gives a talk. If their talk sucked worse than yours, you get to leave the gibbet, but they go in the gibbet. And so who has the best or worst talk, and at the end we have a grand champion or a grand loser. Maybe that's what I should do. Yes. Well, I'll figure out some way. Cause it's so yeah, I'll figure out some way to do that. And he can do a mixtape for the Gibbet. Did you attend that, Trish? I'm sorry, I can't remember if you were there or not. Did you attend those talks? Okay, so I've got. Look at my stuff here. I've got Gibbet frame being painted. I got doors which you can't see, but here's an example. I've got Gibbet metal. Got the Gibbet floor to do. This can still be washed in Agrax. Gibbet is there. I might do the floor of the Gibbet right now. And this one is done in a really dark, so I'll probably use saddle brown for that. Burnt umber. I'll use some burnt umber. It does. He mess with the Gibbet and mix it. You go in the Gibbet. I remember though when I in my talk, Nick like effed up. He was fucking up the mixtape, and so I got like another 30 seconds while he faffed about, and I was like, I'm taking this. Like he dropped the 8-track cassette or something like that. And the poor PhD student who didn't understand the 7-minute rule. I felt so bad for her. Her fucking advisor should have said, look, 7 minutes, you're effing cut off, so practice. That's right. So there's got to be some, I don't know, some supreme winner, some contest, some gladiatorial contest. I'll figure maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah. I'm trying to think of something like pie in the face or rare red nose or something. You're in stocks, something embarrassing, which really ups the ante. Stocks. Yeah, I really want to up the ante. Oh God, though. So Trish Talker, the schools are going to be reconfigured with the new faculty. So one of the things that's currently being discussed is what is the makeup of new schools, and there's some various different proposals on the table. So undoubtedly, by July, the School of Social Sciences will be different. There will almost certainly be more staff in the School of Social Sciences, perhaps from education, not from Chi, but most likely from education and social work. Folks from that previous faculty will be in my school. So we can pick on them. They're gonna, oh my God, they're gonna be fucking scared. Okay. There's the wooden floor of the gibbet. I mean, without being washed or anything like that. And the metal of the gibbet. Of course, I haven't done the rope on top yet, but so we're getting there. But and I got to do all the bolts in the gibbet, but yeah, we're getting there. There's the gibbet frame. Other part over here of the gibbet. Now to decide what to do next. Maybe I'm gonna wash this gibbet. frame, and then dry brush it, and then do the rope and shit like that. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna do the wheel here in a different color brown, um, and then I'll wash the gibbet frame. The stalks. Give him the stalks. Okay. Now there's a rope there. I need to. I think we should bring back the gibbet. At least in America, they should bring where there is no shame. There's zero shame in America. We should bring back the gibbet to hopefully reintroduce shame to that population. But yes, some things are shameworthy. Some things you do are worthy of shaming. We should make sure people realize that. What you do are worthy of public shaming. I'm painting this wooden piece, so I can then wash the whole thing in Agrax, including this wooden piece, and then do the ropes and some other kind of little parts, wooden parts here. That's why I'm doing it in this order. And smacking that gibbet cage around. I don't want to do that so much. Okay, there's that. Paint some of that wood a different color. It's fine. Right. The gibbet hoist or whatever one calls that. Getting that painted is fine. Right, there that is. Okay, the gibbet's coming together. Hey, Diadems. What's going on? You're late tonight. Joking. You're your own person. What's been going on, though? I forget. When is your game? When is your game? We've had raids from Ryufu Silverlight and Vivoid. Some other friends have been here. Trish Talker's here. Dan from Milwaukee. Baptized in Pus has been here. He's the tattooist from Milwaukee who's tattooed DM Dave and Shelly and others from Superior Adventures Guild. Just woke up from a nap. Okay, this Saturday's your game. Awesome. And what's the plan for starting the game? I'm looking at my process I got going on here. Can I flip these and wash the other side now? I think I might do that. I'm gonna put those guys in. Well, no. Maybe I'll do these. I got multiple things I'm painting here. Diadems. I got Fat Dragon Games tiles. These tiles, doors, and dungeon tile corners, and a gibbet. Like this gibbet. But I've got the gibbet part, the cage part, all kinds of stuff going on. You have no idea. Sure, certainly you have some idea. You're sitting on the table. All the players are looking at you. You're the DM, right? What's the first thing you say? Okay, here's dungeon tile. Yeah, maybe I'll paint these guys with Baylor and Tau. Here's my Tau light ochre. Here's my Tau, I think. Yeah. My Tau and Baylor. They're really close, but this is what I'm doing. Tau and Baylor for these dungeon tiles. So I'll do Tau and Baylor on these tiles for a sec. Other things dry more, and we'll just keep going. I didn't get that far. I didn't get that. I missed some spots here. Oh, that's right. I was holding on, I think. Yeah. That was my holding on portion. Okay. What's your game world? It's a homebrew world, if I remember correctly, not Greyhawk or Forgotten Realms or whatever. But it's your own homebrew world, right? Yeah, I'm going to paint some tiles here. These dungeon tile corners for a mow. I'm shaking the paint. Yeah, your homebrew world. So where will they start? Just gonna wing it. That's all right. So what's the first thing you say? As I said, they're sitting on the table. Everyone's looking at you. What comes out of your mouth? Or you want to wing it from. You don't even want to. That's fine. If you just want to say, I don't know, but I'm gonna wing it from that point. That's fine too. Just gonna wing it. So yeah, I'm painting a variety of things here tonight. Dungeon tiles, some gibbets, all kinds of stuff. Some doors. Okay, yeah. Just gonna wing it. I don't think I'm gonna finish. I'm sure I will not finish all this stuff tonight. So I'll probably finish stuff off stream tomorrow night because I got multiple doors and dungeon tiles and a gibbet, and really it's just kind of hard to do it all because of drawing times, right? So, but so I'll post the results in a couple days. Do this top guy here. Tile, go in the middle here. Okay. Wow. I don't know. I use nearly as much Baylor as I thought I would. Now I'm going to go to Towelite Ochre. First, however, I might go take a quick break and go get a beer. So I'll be right back in about 1 minute. Hang tight. Thank you for being here. So the first beer I drank tonight was a McLeod's West Coast Nights India Pale Ale. McLeod's is an awesome brewery from northern North Island, New Zealand, in Waipu. I love this stuff. Never had that before. It was a great beer. And this beer is from Urbanaut, which is another New Zealand brewery from Auckland. And this is Montanita West Coast IPA. I'm a sucker for West Coast IPAs. Urbanaut name all their beers after cities in the world. So I don't know where Montanita is. Maybe it'll say here. It doesn't. That's good. That's good, Diadems. That's a good policy. Do you do kind of the Sly Flourish kind of lazy DM prep? You know, we need like some scenes, some NPCs, some treasures, some mantras, some secrets and clues. Bam, and we go. And I try to do that for all my sessions. Try to get secrets and clues down. I don't always get 10 secrets and clues. I have a series of monsters I know we'll encounter, or might encounter, so I prep them. Um, NPCs are usually less required. Yeah, and treasure is kind of easy. DMing is a constant self-improvement task, I think. I mean, I am. Trish Talker might be here still. Trish Talker is one of my players in my Sunday game. I am rarely, very rarely, ever totally satisfied with a game. I'm always thinking, okay, at the end of the game, I wish I had done this. I wish it'd be better to deal with that situation in this way. Always am I trying to improve. And it's a never-ending thing, right? I'll never be, okay, I'm done prepping now, I'm done improving. That will never happen. It's just always thinking about, okay, how could that be better? I always think that, which is kind of a curse, frankly. I was just, even today, I stayed at home for work at home today because I still didn't feel very well. I had some meetings online, and I was just trying to pound through work, and maybe it wasn't today. Actually, no, today I was fairly satisfied with my job. Yesterday, though, at the end of the day, I was just like, I never feel like I've got enough done. I never feel like I have accomplished enough. It's so hard for me to feel that, okay, I did a good job today. I'm done. Today I did a pretty good job. Today I got a bunch of kind of administrative stuff out of the way that I kind of somewhat enjoy talking about. I'm a research administrator. Got some of that done. I got some class stuff done. And I got some research writing done. So I kind of did all of it today, but still, never enough time. Never enough time. No, Trish Talker, it never fucking ends. The PhD is a time you have more time. The PhD is luxuriate in your PhD time. It only gets worse. You have less and less time for everything that maybe is most important to you. If what's most important to you is research, you have less and less time for that. If what's most important to you is teaching, you have less and less time for that. I doubt what's most important to you is administration. That, there's always lots of that. And never. Granted, I don't want to complain. I really don't. But I do. It might be my own mental problems, but it's hard to feel, for me to feel really satisfied that I have really nailed it today and I'm done for the day. I have like 9 projects on the hop right now that are all on my plate in terms of paper writing or whatnot, and I just I feel snowed under. Granted, I do fuck off a lot and do other things, as my family will tell you. I could spend 15 hours a day doing nothing but my academic job, and I would probably have a lot of stuff done. I don't think that would make me a very happy person, though. Learned firsthand how much teachers work during summer to keep a teaching degree. When I had a teacher agree to go on a date with me 20 years ago, and they were like, "Dad, I'm sorry, gotta go, gotta grade papers." It's been nice, gotta go. I don't want to complain. Far fucking out. No, I do not. I cannot complain. I simply, and it's my own fault, overcommitting. Overcommitting is no one's fault but my own. Overcommitting to projects and to papers and to research and blah, blah, blah. And it's hard not to say yes to cool stuff, though, right? We want to say yes to cool stuff. No one wants to say no to that. So, yeah. Trish Talker, doesn't Melinda talk about this kind of stuff? Granted, I don't think my PhD advisor talked to me about it. So if she hasn't, it's not her fault. And look at me right now. I'm painting tiles. I could be working on one of my research papers right now. But come on. Actually, Trish Talker, Mana's always good. Mana always tells me to fucking... He's like, dude, you need to like... just have some fun. And not worry so much about that stuff. Yeah, you're right. Mana's pretty chill guy, though, so... He's good to have in that regard. Should I paint that whole slab, the whole lintel, in that color? I don't think so. That's a bit too much. I'll paint this. So that Diadems, I know you don't stream your games, but is there a chance you might? It'd be cool to like. Maybe you should put a session report on Twitch or something like that, eh? So we can read about your session. What do you think? No? Okay. Get my tiles down here. She has mentioned the ambient time. Also, yeah. So Melinda's feeling like she's getting more done research-wise, retired. That's good. So, yeah. I mean that's good. So retirement has been semi-retirement for her. Has been productive. It is. Yeah. So this semester, I'm only teaching one class. And I'm still feeling, as always, stressed on everything I have to do because of my own stupid overcommitments. Next semester, however, I'm teaching into 3 classes. So I'm not going to get anything done in terms of research writing, or the bare minimum, and it's going to stress me out. I'm already trying to prepare for it. But it's just the way it is. It's my own overcommitment. This other thing I see where someone added to their story. Diadems, what do you mean about, is that the thing I see where someone added to their story? Indeed, more mindful painting sessions. Totally. Need to focus. focus on what's important. On top of there's a story section. Oh, I don't know what that is. No, I see what you're saying. I know what you're saying now, Dynamis. I don't know what that. I don't know what that is. I never like clicked on it. I don't know. I just want to read about your D&D session. I don't know if I see anyone else. Sorry, not to toot my own horn, but by any means. But I post my session reports on Discord open server. Those who follow that, and on Twitter and on my D&D Facebook page. I don't see anyone else posting session reports. Am I right in saying that? Because I would read other people's session reports, as long as they were kind of like succinct. I'm not going to spend an hour, but if, a 5-minute read or less for a session report, I'd totally do that. And am I right in saying I don't see session reports that much? Oh, he does. He does. Okay. So Maddie Morris has got a place for session reports. I did not know that. It's good to know. I'll check it out. Session reports are good. Okay. I'm going to agrax, homemade agrax the other side of these doors, and then the gibbet. Here's my homemade agrax. So today I was working at home, and like I said, I feel pretty satisfied with work at home today. I got kind of I got a bit of all components of my job done. I did some administrative work. I did some research writing. I did some teaching stuff. I even got some play stuff done. I got some printing done. It's pretty easy though. It takes me like 5 minutes to set up a print, and I go into the other room, and the print takes 3 hours, and blah blah blah. Just work and get it done. So I kind of did the full Monty today. I got everything done, and it was a good day. And I'm thinking maybe I should just work at home all the time. Get this stuff done. But probably can't do that all the time. I worked at home today because on Monday I was teaching class, but I was really sick. I wore a mask in class. Tuesday I stayed home because I was effing sick. Today I am pretty much on the mend, but I stayed home anyways. So I had some stuff. Someone was coming to work on some house stuff in the morning, so I stayed home to let them do that and just work on my laptop. Tomorrow I go to my office. Friday I go to my office. But I feel like I got a lot done. Just like there is lots of my students in my class in 700 are sick. Lily was sick all last week. I felt fine on the weekend. That's why I had D&D. but obviously I wasn't fine. Yeah, there's something freaking going around Auckland, I'll say. There's a guy I follow here that does 3D print like crazy. In Alaska, can you send me a link to his thing? Does he stream? If you follow him, must stream, huh? Items. Okay, now I have got the doors, both sides washed. I got this painted, my tiles painted. Now I'm going to agrax the wood on this thing. And I'm not going to use my homemade agrax. I'm going to use Citadel agrax because it adheres better to vertical surfaces. I still need to make a better recipe for my homemade agrax. Make it work. So let me just again show you. Here's that door right there. See how I have washed that in my homemade agrax. This is Citadel agrax, which does the same thing. Let me use a Citadel agrax on the gibbet here. There's heaps of flu stuff going around. Shit. Heaps and heaps. Okay. There we go. Okay, this is not homemade agrax. This is purchased agrax. And here we go. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Diadems. I'll check it out. So, Diadems, tonight I made Trish Talker a moderator because she is here quite often. You're the head moderator. I hope you don't mind. Diadems, Trish Talker, meet Trish Talker, meet Diadems. Trish Talker is here in Auckland. She is a player in my Sunday game, our Sunday game. She's a good egg, as they say. Diadems is lead moderator. And contributor. You guys can compare notes in what is the easiest moderating job on Twitch, that of my channel. There's no easier moderating job. I'll warrant. Who do you mod for, Diadems? Do you mod for Darling? Do you mod for Maddie? Modding for me is easy because I have an average of like 4 viewers. And all of them are moderators, so. Your modding list has shrunk, dude. Yeah, seriously. Need to kick up your modding a notch. So, we've talked about this before, but would you consider streaming your game? Maybe once it gets kind of going to some degree? Dude, you can stream from the Great White North. How many D&D streamers are from there? That could be your shtick. Although you don't need a shtick. I mean, neither you nor I would do this to... We have day jobs. Here, people are not streaming. So, have diadems. Have people you streamed for in the past, have people you've moderated before in the past, have they stopped streaming? And that's why you don't moderate as much? Excuse me. Stuff my cold going on here. I did banish a little more. Oh, you. One did. Banish a little more, but you know, unmodded me for whatever. Yeah. What? I'd say you're pretty decent moderator. Pretty. Yeah. Seriously. Okay. Now I have. Oh no, I didn't the wheel. As you can see, I've kind of washed the wooden gibbet frame in Agrax, and so the wood grain really stands out now, right? That's the point of washing for me. So usually for most wood, I do a light brown and then wash it in Agrax so the wood grain stands out. That's kind of the standard approach to wood for me. But I need to do this wheel here. My constant kind of concern with streaming is live D&D. So I really do not have a setup that makes it easy to pay attention to the stream. I'm far too invested in running the game to be able to also deal with the stream. J. Scott Lord Gasumba does it really well. I do not. I do not do a good job at like running a stream while I'm running the game. So that's what I just don't. Just not my strength. Okay, so there's the gibbet frame with the wood done. I still into the ropes and the metal pieces still. Here's the gibbet cage. And I'm going to wash the floor. Which is pretty easy in the grand scheme. Do I do this? Pretty freaking easy. So, Diadems, I know you're willing to talk U.S. politics. How about that signal chat on the Yemeni battle plans? Wow! That pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Considering that at any other time, all lawmakers would be freaking the fuck out about it, but not the current Republican lawmakers in the legislature. Shocking. Darlene does a great job. She has a great bunch of... Yeah, Darlene does have a lot of mods. She's got a very loyal following and mod following. Yeah, absolutely. I know she was at GaryCon last week because I saw a bunch of her posts from GaryCon and other folks' posts with her in it. So I met Darlene at GaryCon in 24. That was fun. It was very nice. Okay. So I have all this stuff done. This line up here, I got doors done. So I got a bunch of doors. And I got gibbet cages and gibbet frames. And I need to figure out what to actually paint next in all this stuff. I could perhaps wash these in Known oil. That might be a next step. While the other things dry. These are pretty dry. I feel like I could wash them in Known oil. I just need to make some room for them. And I might have to go get the hair dryer to dry some of this stuff so I can continue painting it. Right now I'm going to move stuff over there to the see. I move stuff to the edge of my workspace, all that kind of done stuff over there. And now I might just Agrax this stuff. Agrax these tiles. And they'll be done for dry brushing tomorrow. This door hinge I'm moving back and forth, manipulating. These doors slide onto that door hinge to create a full kind of corner piece. Which you can kind of imagine if it's up against here. There'll be a door in there, and that's a nice corner. This piece has been painted and Known oiled and dry brushed and sprayed with clear coat. So this is a done piece from a long time ago. I just pulled it out to kind of remind myself of the paint scheme I use for my tiles. Dungeon tiles, that is. The count that talks that also was getting. Yeah, that was pretty shocking when I read it. I was just like, oh my god. I was like, but none of that matters anymore in the current political climate. It just doesn't matter, does it? Okay. Now I'm going to use some homemade Known oil for these pieces. And I think I will use one of my big flat brushes for this. There's a big flat brush. There's this piece. I'm going to have to find places to put all this shit. That's okay. So this is homemade Known oil. Again, I made with black ink, carbon black ink, water, matte medium, and flow improver. All those things from, so for example, the Curious. Here's Liquitex flow additive. Liquitex matte medium. So this is the kind of medium you add to an ink to make paint. So helps it adhere better. And also the ink itself, I use carbon black from Liquitex. That's what I use to create this non-oil like wash, and it's pretty good. For some reason, I got the. Actually, I should just look at the friggin' recipe I used for this and use that to make my agrax. How do you not? Did you know? I know, Trish Tucker. Remind me of like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Ha, like probably most people, I've never used the app Signal because I think Signal is the app they use, and I want to say it's one of its calling cards is its anonymity, right? So I don't know how Signal works, but yeah, total reply all email, which we've all done. We've all done reply all. I'm like fuck, but we're not all the Secretary of Defense of America, are we? No, we're not. So, you know, when you got that kind of job, there's some additional responsibilities the rest of us don't really have. Right? Right. Chats there can be automated from days up to weeks. Okay. And deleted with no one able to like then follow them, eh? Yeah. Yeah, my reply all emails are not that egregious. Might have been like, oh fuck, that's kind of embarrassing, but I'm not giving away state secrets or battle plans of the U.S. military. Oops. All right. How about that? My bad. My bad. Sorry. 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 What's just most egregious is the lack of the the hypocrisy of all politicians. All politicians of any stripe should be like, this is like essentially one of the worst offenses, and the person should resign. Republicans should say that. Democrats should say that. Everyone should say that. But no one's saying that because they're afraid of Trump. And they're afraid of Trump because he is part of a system that they helped create. That is, correct me if I'm wrong, Diadems, but I always when people ask me, people not from America, which is who I'm around mostly, asking about America, I talk about the primary system in America, which to become a politician, you need to be extreme. You cannot be a compromiser. And so it promotes extremism on the left and the right. The U.S. system. And that's what Trump has learned and exploited. Hugely exploited that extremism. If you're not extreme, and extreme on my side, you will not be reelected. And if your political position is a career, not a service to the country, and you want to keep that job, you need to bend over backwards to maintain these ludicrous positions of extremism to keep your job. And that's America. Am I wrong there, Diadems? Yes, zero. Well, he served in Afghanistan like on 2 tours, right? He was like a ROTC graduate. He had a commission, but yeah, I don't know. Certainly no reasonable worthwhile experience. Give you that. Okay, so I'm painting tiles and putting them aside. Here's some of my painted tiles right there. My washed tiles, rather. Put them aside and continue to wash other tiles, those corner tiles. Yeah, with my homemade Nolan oil. It's not the best, but it's better than my homemade Agrax. Come back! I was honestly thinking about you today. Because I knew I'd be streaming tonight. And I thought, what the fuck is Comeback doing? And I take a kind of secret joy in the fact that you are what? 17 years old? And are you a year 11 or are you 12 or year 13 student? And you should be studying right now, but instead you're watching an old man talk about D&D and paint miniatures. If you were my child, I'd punish you. But you're not, but whatever. So, a delight in your appearance, Comeback. Welcome. How's school? Australian Survivor, but filmed in Samoa. Is that where the current Australian Survivor is? Is it in Samoa? Your paint fucking all over me. Rather than Nolan oil. Okay, so many of my friends in Samoa have worked on or been a part of Australian Survivor. I've actually never friggin' seen a single episode of it. I should watch it. I mean, I really should watch it. I just never have. So, I'm sure I can watch it on YouTube or something like that. But yeah, I've got to watch Australian Survivor to see how ridiculous it is. And I will someday, I promise. I promise you all. So Comeback, I think you know I'm a professor at the University of Auckland, and I work in archaeology. And one of my main research areas in the last decade is Samoa. So I go to Samoa all the time. I was there in February. And yeah, sometimes I've been to Samoa when Australian Survivor is there, and I'm pissed off because they have all the rental cars in the entire country. I'm like, God damn it, I need a rental car. But I can't get them because Australian Survivor has them all. But whatever, I guess that's a minor complaint in the grand scheme of things. Are you Comeback? Are you year 12 or 13? You're year 12, right? Don't tell your parents you're talking to me. They'll rightfully be worried, as they should be. I'm a bad person in general. Okay, I've now got those tiles done. You can't really see them, gentle viewer, but They are done. Okay. I will, got the doors still. Got some more paint in there to deal with. What do I do now? Gosh, I really have got, I'm at a breaking point here. Okay, comeback says you're only year 11. Okay, I'm a DM. Yeah, I'm a DM. I'm pretty above board. Trish Tucker. Okay, embarrassingly, exactly what is it? What does it mean to say he's pretty sus or it's pretty sus? I have no modesty. I do not know what that means. Okay, suspicious. Okay, not okay. Not as in sussed, as in sorted and all right. Okay, nice. So the opposite of that. God damn it. Anyways, come back. As you know, it's normal Wednesday night. We're painting terrains and whatnots. I got lots of stuff I'm working on. All these terrain pieces, doors, etc. Uh, dungeon tiles, blah, 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 blah. All this shit. Yeah. Trying to paint a bunch of stuff at the same time. So painting something and then like letting the other thing dry while I paint the other thing and yada, yada, yada. And I got these doors going on. I might honestly go blow dry these doors for a second so I can then paint the, because they're a touch damp still, so I can dry brush them, the wood portions, and then paint the metal bits on them, right? The gibbet is still too, I think, too. I also have to dry brush wood on that. Can't do that yet. Yeah. So I need to get the hair dryer, basically. Dude, well, yeah. Come back. I understand sus is suspicious, but also when something is, I mean, remember I moved to New Zealand from the UK, and when you say in the UK something is sussed, you mean it's sorted, figured out, okay, right? It's sussed out. So I thought maybe sus was a shorthand for sussed, not suspicious. That's all. Let me come back. I'll talk to you about 80s slang and see what the fuck you know, huh? How's that? Anyways, I don't mean to be aggressive. I'm gonna go get my hair dryer, okay? So hold on. Okay, I'm back. You forgot to time me. Weird American slang. What's weird American slang? Okay. Ha. I can think of some things, but I don't know. Most people around the world know American slang from movies, right? So it's kind of hard to. I'm plugging in my hairdryer. It's kind of hard to talk about American slang that someone doesn't know something about. Okay, I'm going to mute this so I can hairdryer my doors there. So, muting. I think they're dry enough for me to dry brush, and then I will paint the metal, what do you call it? The stuff on the doors. It's metal, like the what do you call that stuff? It's called something. I can't remember. Damn it! Damn it! What's it called? I'm plugging back in my vortex shaker. Okay, come on, baby, come on. Okay, vortex shaker now going again. Hair dryer not. Dry brushing doors. If I dry brush the doors, is it wacko? So the last couple sessions I've not used my condenser mic. I've just been using the mic attached to the earphones in my ear, the bone conducting earphones. So in all honesty, does it sound really shit, tinny, or is it an acceptable audio broadcast? If it sounds really crappy, I'll go back to my condenser mic. The condenser mic just simply takes up space on my table in front of me. So that's why I decided maybe I don't need that because I'll have more space for all the crap I have in front of me. I mean, seriously, you can't see. There's a huge amount of crap in front of me. Racks of paints, water pot, wet palette, series of paints over there, all this shit on the table, beer cans, glasses, all kinds of stuff. It's chaos. Okay. Dry brushing this stuff. Now what? Very sharp. Okay, so so that makes sense. It's not deep and rich as a good condenser mic will make it. So it's more tinny is what I would say. That's probably what you mean by sharp. Yeah. So that's a change I've made. I can go back to the condenser mic, which might sound better. But indeed, it just takes up more space on my table. I could get a boom mic, one of those kind of mics that's on a big boom, and have it sit in front of me. But that's more expense, perhaps, than I'm willing to part with. Okay, dry brushing these wooden doors. I gotta figure out a color to dry brush them. Do I just take? Maybe I'll just make a lighter version of what I painted them with. But I don't know. It's like I really don't know if this is gonna work or not. It's really pink. I'm gonna use my Eldar flesh actually. That'd be a better dry brush here. So I'm gonna get an Eldar flesh right here. You can't see it. Eldar flesh. I'm gonna use this as dry brush. I'm gonna use this guy here and a dry brushing paper towel. I'm gonna put that over there. Okay, so here we go. Dry brush away. And the other side. Okay, so kind of some dry brushing. Make that door look a bit more realistic. That one's done. I'm gonna keep going. My others, I can really just use my hands for this. Too heavy a dry brush, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, not bad, not bad. The second door, this door needs more. That one, okay. Another door. And after this, I can put the metal on the doors. That'll be good. And someday, Trish Talker, someday, in the far distant future perhaps, we'll do a mini painting session. God, look at that. If you still want to, when the time comes. Yeah, 100 points and I have enough to give a P. Oh, Jesus! Come back. If you come on a game, one of my sessions on Sunday, just whisper me, dude, and you can give a PC inspiration. You've been enough of a really a joy, a total joy to have on stream that we can allow you to give a PC inspiration. All right, we can sort it out. Is what I'm trying to say. There's the doors. So I've dry brushed those doors. See? And now I got to paint the iron fittings on them, the metal fittings on them. That's fine. I think I'll do that next. Because this is still a bit wet for me to dry brush. The gibbet's a little bit wet for me to dry brush still. I could blow dry it, but I don't know this. And this, I need to wash the metal in Nuln oil. This too. Give that a second, but I can just work on these doors. I'll work on those doors. You have a mic and a boom. Just don't use it as only way to mute is Okay, so Dottims, you've a boom mic? I just haven't gone that far in terms of my tech, right? I don't know if I need to or not. I mean, I don't need to, obviously. People still come by and hang out. Would it be an incredible experience for those who hang out? I don't know. Come back. We play at midday at 12 p.m. on Sundays. Well, the stream might not start until 12:15 till 12:20 or so, but that's our start time. I do not yet have a confirmation for this Sunday. Okay, just to be clear, I don't want to string you along, as it were. Trish Talker is a player in my Sunday game, so she also is an interested party in this, we should say. Okay. Right. Yeah, I think I will paint the metal fittings on these doors right now. In lieu of doing other things like painting, dry brushing this guy, or Nuln oiling this guy, which I could do as well. And then dry brushing, blah, 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 but whatever. Well, I might quickly Nuln oil him, and then do the metal fittings on these doors. So I'm going to put these doors right there. I'm going to Nuln oil these this metal stuff with my homemade Nuln oil. And yeah, go from there. Come back if you want to check out our World Anvil page with all of our session reports and etc. and character backstories and maps, etc. Go there. Yeah, I don't know if we're playing or not. I usually will try to put out some advertisement about that in advance, but we shall see if I am able to. Okay, I'm gonna Nuln oil this cage. So if I go like this, is it better? Yeah, I don't know, whatever. This is my homemade Nuln oil. I will repeat. The inside as well. Not too concerned about the inside actually, but whatever. Get this piece. Inside now. Okay, that's pretty much done. I'm gonna do this guy. Cage there. Whatever. I really don't think anyone will ever see the inside of the cage, so I'm not gonna over worry it. Right. Right. Okay, so there's the cage in large part. And I might do this just so I do not spill Nuln oil all over myself at some point in the future tonight, which is highly likely. Okay. All right. So there's the cage is done. Oh, fuck it, I got it. The cage is done. Yes. So I'm wiping up some spots on my thing. Page is done, etc. Now we're going to do metal on the doors. And what I've done is I've just taken some like extra plastic pieces I have and use them to create handles for the doors. So the doors all have these little notches in the back, which allow them to slide onto the hinges in the these big corner tiles right here. And put this back, blah blah. Okay, door metal. Metal paints I have over here. Those metal paints are, that's just gray. I also have silver. I could use the rough iron. Maybe I'll just use the silver. I'll use oily silver. This paint I haven't used yet. Oily steel. Oily steel. Which seems to me very little different from steel, but whatever. I'll use oily steel for these doors. And then we'll use kind of rough iron for the rivets and whatnots and handles, etc. Okay. Oof, it actually does. This takes a long effing time. Okay. Okay. Come back. You can inspire. You can give inspiration points to Trish Talker all you want, as long as you have the channel points, or you can subscribe. Don't subscribe. You're a young person. You don't need to spend whatever it is, $8.99 a month to subscribe. But yeah, get your parents to subscribe for you. Okay, I need a better paintbrush than this big thick monster, or that one. Look at my paintbrushes here. Choose a reasonable one. Guys, it's 10 o'clock. Christ, where's my family? Okay. Here we go. Paint and door paraphernalia. Without a drink in my hand. So, I don't know. I will vortex shake the paint. And then I'm going to start painting the metal fittings on these doors. I've never used, I think, oily steel, which is what I have in my hand here that I am shaking up in my vortex shaker. That's right. Come back. If you were just committed, come back. You'd be a successful person. Our unpredictable gnome Brimble. Sometimes an asshole, sometimes a savior. Who knows? Who knows what it would be on the day? No, Brimble's always good. Okay. Okay, oily steel. Painting doors is actually really quite satisfying because it's so easy and they're so cool looking, you know? It's so easy to make a cool looking door. They're just, it really takes so little effort to make a really cool thing. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should take back the so little effort. It's actually a lot of fucking effort. It doesn't take a lot of skill. That's what I should say. A lot of effort, little skill. So anyone can do it. This is what I mean to say. Dedication, perhaps, maybe? More so than skill? And a willingness to sit here for a couple hours and do this kind of shit? Guess that's something. But the skill itself is not great. My family's home, I can hear them now. Okay, door number 2. That's just, it looks so good. So easy. Dunk it into the fun. I was bitten by a vampire and turned into where I too. Always fun. Always fun times. Indeed. Yeah. But you guys have always managed to survive, goddammit. Seriously, the only one who dies is Alex. So, can you see these doors I'm doing? There they are. There's the doors. Really, so easy to make really good looking doors. That was an awesome death. I think that was a really fucking awesome death. Carried away by a rock and crushed in its claws. I liked that death. I liked it a lot. I'll admit. Okay, there is all the 4 doors on one side of them. I need to wait a sec while that stuff dries before I do the other side. So maybe I can now dry brush some of this. I think I can. And so I will. I'm now going to dry brush the wood on the gibbet frame. There it is. On those doors, that side of the door is dry. Although, yeah, I also can do the, well, no, the pull handle I'll do later. Just trying to really be efficient in my painting here. Okay, so that's that. This guy can now also be dry brushed, and I guess I'll use this one. Another paper towel. Hmm. Dry brush that enough, is that right? Yep. Okay, put that one aside. Put off that. Put my Eldar flashback away. Kind of clean that brush off. I think his barbarian. So, oh yeah, absolutely. I think Leo's barbarian. Barbarian slash bard, whatever it was. Yeah, I think that was a good death. And Leo, I know, thought so too. He was totally unruffled by that death. Um, so I thought that was a totally good death. Absolutely. Some deaths are good deaths, right? Okay, there's that. Now I think I can spin those around and paint the other side. So those doors, what I'm doing right now, those 4 doors, the tiles that go on to right here, this tile has been painted and washed in homemade Millen oil and it's still drying, so I'm not excuse me, not gonna insert the doors yet, but they're coming. These are the doors. I think they're dry enough now I can flip them over and paint the metal on the other side. So I'll do so. I'll do so in a second. I've done the calcs. You've done the calculations. Come back, or are you talking about year 11 advanced maths? I'll be back in 3 minutes, and you can time me if you want to come back. I'm back. Armin Farmin. What the fuck is that? One for one inspiration. I get the full watch streak. For up to 2 hours. Now I need to watch 8 streams. Come back. Like I said, if you just come on, and you do something fantastic. Okay, thank you for the time. What did I say? 3 minutes though. I talked to the wife, talked to the daughter, got a drink, etc. If you come back, in 59 milliseconds. Wow. Makes me think of like that's like a Formula One time, like the latest Formula One in China, right? From like first to last place, the difference is a second. That's just always shocking. Not a second, but 2 seconds maybe between first and last place. It's always shocking to me. Okay, let's paint the other side of those doors. Poor Liam Lawson. He's really getting the fucking shaft. Formula One driver, Kiwi Formula One driver. Red Bull, partner to Max Verstappen, the Dutchman. God, really nice if Liam can pull it off. But I don't know. Can you guys follow F1? I don't really follow F1. Just the story of Liam Lawson is kind of compelling. That's why I follow that. I think anyways. 10K. What's 10K? What's it? You have 10,000 channel points now. Is that what you're saying? Come back. Just come back. Just every time I stream, just turn it on and then walk away. And get the points. Or steal your parents' credit card and buy a bunch of bits to give me. All right? That's another option. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, but I really didn't say that. I think I'm older than your parents, frankly. Come back. You could, yeah, but what? Go for it, man. I condone it. I'm an adult. Go for it. Yeah, dungeon doors are so cool. I love dungeon doors. I love them. Yeah, they're fun. Sure, strive for, you should strive for legitimate goals. You're right. Don't cheat. Strive for legitimate goals. Get those 4 doors done. Now, can I do? I mean, but not. I have to do rough iron on them, and then maybe I can do the metal on the gibbet. I think I probably can. I'm just gonna put these things aside. Put the doors over here. Just so they're out of my way to some degree. And I think I'll do, well, the metal or the rope on the gibbet here. You can't see it, sorry. The gibbet frame. Yes, I could do. Where's my, oh, yeah, think about it. Think about it. That's all I ask. That's really all I ask. Right. Okay. Gibbet frame there. I have rope and metal to paint. Perhaps I'll paint the rope. On the previous gibbet, I used a really yellow rope, which I don't know how well that works. I might, well, no, medium flesh tone. These gibbets are pretty similar, but really use medium flesh tone, which I know I didn't use because I didn't have it. I probably used wood grain. This is very similar. So I think I'll use the medium flesh tone on this gibbet rope. Let's not shake it up. Put it in my vortex shaker. And paint the rope on the gibbet frame. I've actually got quite a bit done tonight. I'm going for 3 hours plus. That's just one reason why I got a lot of it done. I got 4 corner tiles done, but not dry brushed. I think I'll get these doors done. Yeah, it's going pretty well. We haven't done a lot of D&D talk though. Come back. You're here, you're chatting. Remind me again what your D&D play situation is. I think you said you DM for people at school, is that right? And so how do you guys do it? You play 5e? What campaign world do you play in? And you play on, so describe your DMing to me. And describe the play to me. Paint the rope in here. Very much the rules or guidelines DM. Okay. Okay, sure. No, that's good. Frankly, especially for, if I may say so, a young person. Most young people are really kind of like, oh, I've got to do what the rules say. And ad-libbing, I can't ad-lib because that's unfair. That's good to hear. I think anyway. I do. I agree. What's a consequence DM? As in, actions have consequences? Which every DM should play that way. But is that what you mean? I know we've talked about this before. So is it a thing? Like DMing and D&D is a thing? Like you're a DM kid times 10. Nice. And people who, know that's the DM kids, blah, 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 or the D&D kids, and they're kind of weird, or does everyone kind of know about D&D and play it, or what? I swear I've asked that before, I know. But I'm an old man and I forget things. And you say it depends on what area of society you're in. Well, I guess I mean kind of school society, like you, amongst your teen colleagues, right? At school, at lunch. You're talking about D&D stuff and some guy walk by and go, geek, and punch you, or not. Kind of hope they do. That's what it should be. Yeah? Okay, the rope on the thing there. And now I'm going to paint the metal pieces on this. There's some big metal pieces on this um, gibbet frame, and then, yeah, some pieces that are like rivets, which I'll paint in rough iron. Very integral part amongst me and my friends. Less intelligent beings, exactly. Okay, that's cool. I can see that. Less intelligent beings. Funny. When I grew up, my school was small enough that everyone, like in my year, there was 90 kids in my year, and so, and we all knew each other from like primary. So it was really no point in like we all, like, oh, you're an idiot, you're a geek, blah blah, because we all knew each other for so long. Oh, that big metal pieces on the thing. And now I'm going to paint these pieces down here. Similarly, is that piece. Uh, 90, damn. 90? You mean 90? Dude, I was born in 1970, and I started playing D&D in 1980, when I was in year 6, in 1980, just to be clear. Dude, it was the best time in the world. D&D fucking heyday. Ask your parents. It was the greatest time in the world. Some silly hiatus campaign. I'll make it. Okay, so what's the hiatus campaign? Nice terminology, by the way. We might do a hiatus session this weekend. So, one shoddy side questy kind of thing. There's all that. And now I just got to do the rivets on this and that stuff. Yeah, okay. They're all bugs and then covered in secretly bird people. Come back here, I got a hand to you. I don't think I was that imaginative. Good night, babe. I don't think I was that imaginative when I was a kid. We just played D&D, no bug people and that kind of shit. That rough iron. Okay, now we're gonna paint the rivets on the doors and the rivets on the gibbet. Right? I do gotta paint the bits on my crank on the gibbet. They're all bugs. That's funny. Come back, that's funny. 10:30, I've been going for 3.5 hours almost. Wow. As stupid as possible. So do you have a core group of folks who play consistently with you? Which is 95% of the battle, is having good people who show up on schedule, right? You do, that's awesome, man. As a high school student, I did too. We played pretty regularly, pretty clockwork, I must say. Okay, now I'm going to be doing the little bits on this stuff. So this, I'm just going to do like this. I guess the handle will make the handle a different color, but this color I'm doing now is rough iron. Maybe I'll even wash this in green, as if it's rusty. Yeah, we're getting there. 5 people in the main campaign, 6 in the hiatus. 3 of each playing both, so. That's awesome, man. And everyone is kind of like year 11, like you. That's really great. I mean, seriously, when I was a kid, too, I had the same kind of. We had the same thing. We had like, you know, 5 or 6 folks playing every weekend. Um, yeah, we did. Ha! You're 9 kid. Wow. Kill him. No. Kill him. Kill him. No, kidding. I mean, kill him for real. Come back. I want you to read a book. I want you to read some of the history of D&D, if you're up for it. I have a history of D&D book, which I gave to one of my players, and he has not returned it recently. I need to get it back from him. But yeah, you need to read some nonfiction analysis of the history of D&D going back to the mid 1960s. I think you might enjoy it. If you're into D&D, you might enjoy learning about the history of this 50-year-old game. It didn't just appear on the scene in 2014 with 5th edition, let me tell you. We stole my players just because otherwise they wouldn't have been able to play. Yeah, nice. For God's sakes, it's good to have males and females. In high school, when I was in high school, in the 80s, it was only boys played. I never played with a girl, ever. Until I started playing 5th edition about 10 years ago. 8 years ago. A better person for it. No, in the 80s we had metal miniatures, dude. The miniatures were made out of pewter. So I wish I had. I don't want to pull them out, but I have my 80s miniatures. No girls in RPGs for the early 90s, says items. You know, I know miniatures in the 80s were there weren't. It was all metal miniatures in those times. Not plastic. There's no such thing as 3D printers, etc. I'm glad Didems is here to back me up. Okay, there's some doors one side of the door. So it's so cool, so easy to make cool looking doors. You know, super easy. There's one side of those doors. On the other side right now, I'm gonna do the rivets on this. The rivets on that cage. There's some rivets. Rivets on the rest of this fucking thing, which is a lot of fucking rivets. That's alright though. Rivets are pretty easy. Now I've got the bullets. So I played, as maybe Adams knows, I played D&D throughout the 80s and early 90s, and then took a 30-year break, and then played D&D again in the 2010s, 5th edition. So I had never played with women until a couple of years ago, until 5th edition in 2018 or so. The last like 6 years is when I first started playing with women in my games. Before that, it was simply just guys. So we did, just guys. I think it's with a male and female from most groups. I think so. It's weird to me when they place. Yeah. So yeah, come back in the 80s. Guys played D&D. Girls did not, in my experience. And probably the game was worse off for it in the 80s because of that, right? Variety is the spice of life. Indeed. Okay, I'm going to make these locks gold. Oh, I got that shit back. Yeah, these hinges. Also this rough iron. So I'll use this gold stuff for the locks. Why not? Okay. I'll wash that. I'm going to use my rough iron to do all the bolts on this thing. I'm just trying to get a lot of painting done in one night, but it's by going back and forth between various things as stuff dries. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay. I'm got all the bolts and shit done. That's good. That done. I'll wash them in the various colors in a second. Okay, this one's pretty good. My gibbet frame. So I'm trying to think about maybe is that since I'm a very tuned to how the world works person, it's just that I find it in real life and see how they react. It's also boosted my confidence. Yeah, I agree with that. It's awesome. I too try to kind of like provide my players, not always, but I try to think about how can I provide them with morally um, charged decisions. Like, are they going to kill this creature with their babies or not? I mean, that kind of try to provide that kind of stuff. Make it so that okay, decision making has some moral consequences. I did not do that as a teenager. Comebacks. If you're doing that as a teenager, it's impressive. Yeah. Again, okay. Fire. Got fire in here. Come back. You should consider going to a D&D convention here in New Zealand, like the convention they have in Hamilton in kind of August-ish. I'm gonna try to go this year and run a game. So you can kind of expand your D&D your role-playing horizons and knowledge. No, it's really good. Yeah, I think I think you would enjoy that. Okay, there's the doors, I think, done. Now I need to do some more on the locks. And I will soon, I'll put these doors, I will wash the metal fittings in no in a second. But yeah, I'm pleased with them. And here's this guy. That no as well. This guy. I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna use some different colors. For parts of the pulley apparatus here. Right. the plate. I need to also wash the rope and kind of yeah, Agrax too. Okay. Yay, doors! I thought random deep dives. Some of those deep dives are reaching heavier topics I can take in, can go transcend. It sounds like comeback, like you are a pretty good DM. Maybe you should DM a game at the Hamilton Conference in September, whenever it is, and you can DM me. That sounds good to me. But you're right, in general, yay doors. Doors. Give it frames, etc. I need to use some Nolan oil on this stuff. Fuck, you're in Christchurch, right? Fucking Hamilton. You're 17. Fucking fly up there. Fuck, what's the conference in Hamilton? It's called like Infinity or something like that, but yeah. You can do it. I'll vouch for you. Your parents can call me. You'll be fine. It'll be awesome. Okay, I am got my stuff here. I need some Agrax. I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use some Nolan oil. Not my homemade Nolan oil. I'm gonna use some purchased Nolan oil. Right here, Nolan oil. Okay, so you're 16. What the fuck? Who cares? Whatever. $16, $17, whatever. It's all the same. Doors. I want locks. Maybe kind of. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's awesome. Child DM. Why not? Child DM. Why not? Who cares? I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you how you do without fucking pulling punches. Ask my own family, okay? You don't, I will tell you what you need to do a good job. Child DM. Whatever. We were all child DMs at some point. I was. You are. That's the way it is. Okay, I still need to paint the ropes on that fucking thing. Set over there. Blah. I need to do the rope. Have I done the other side? Not yet. So I gotta let those doors. I gotta let these doors dry. Gotta the rope on the gibbet cage. I have to. Okay. I'm gonna do that right now. Come back. That's what's important. If you and your friends have a fun time playing D&D, keep playing D&D. That's what matters. I'm impressed with your depictions of how you do what you do. And so I would say keep doing what you're doing. Because when I was a child DM, we didn't have any of this shit of conversing with people around the fucking world about how to do this. Alright? As I imagine you might guess. Okay, there's the rope on that thing. And now I need to wash the ropes in maybe Seraphim Sepia. Let me get that out here. There it is. Seraphim Sepia. Let me put this aside. I can do the ropes on that piece, on the gibbet frame, but yeah, not yet on the gibbet cage. But I can wash the gibbet frame, then I'll spin those guys around and wash them. Do I have I've been DMing 5e for most of the last 10 years, and I like feeding lore. I like providing challenges. The characters in my campaign are really strategic players, and so challenging them in combats is difficult. I will admit I'm getting tired of 5e as the players get higher in level. I find 5e to be less fun. It seems to be more about character seems to be more about character triumph than about team play. And frankly, I want to get away from that. Frankly, I'm getting tired of 5e. And I've started a new game with some friends of mine from childhood, and we're playing 1e, and I find that much more satisfying. Not because characters die more often, which I think they do, but because it encourages team play. It encourages role playing in a way that I appreciate more than 5e role playing. 5e role playing is soliloquies, which is a complex term, which means someone delivering a series of lines backstory on their person. So I don't care. I don't, which is 5e is designed for the player who played video games and who wants to shine on stage. I don't particularly appreciate that set of rules. So come back. Maybe one day you should play something like Shadowdark or 1e or 2e, which are very stripped down rule sets, which don't have a lot of rules. Stripped down. They leave a lot to the DM, and you can expect to die more often. And you really need to be a team player. You cannot be a prima donna. And that's the rule set. Those are the rule sets I prefer. Okay, so that's those done, and now transition those around. I've got this done. Got most of this done. Got those done for the most part. I now need to do the other side of these doors. I'll flip and do them. Okay, I think I'm just gonna wash these in Noel really fast. So 1E is a very different kind of game. It really is. And I think I enjoy it more. There's also some nostalgia wrapped up into that. 1E is the game I played as a child, your age. And so there's obviously some kind of harkening back the golden era of my childhood when I play 1E and 2E. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've done, okay, I need to do a seraphim on the ropes on this thing. Right now. I'm going to do a little bit of dry brushing on interior of that. I'm going to use this paint here. Okay, folks. Hey! Nice. CBO8. Nice to see you here. Um, First time chatter. Awesome. You played DCC. I've never played DCC, but I understand it's a good OSE version. Um, I too have lots of old D&D stuff. I've got a Mold Bay blue box. I've got red box down there, as well as blue box expert set, all my old first edition stuff like that. Yeah, so that's really, I currently mostly play 5e, but a bit of 1e as well, 1e/2e. Just so you know, on Wednesday nights we paint terrain and stuff like that on this channel. Come at you from New Zealand. There's a bunch of terrain we've done tonight, doors for these Fat Dragon Games dungeon tiles. And all that painting on New Zealand Sundays midday. We play live D&D on the table. That's coming up in a couple days. We play every weekend almost. However, I think I'm going to call it a night. I did this for 4 hours. It's 11:05 p.m. my time. I've got to get up and go to work tomorrow. We've got a good stuff done tonight. I feel proud that we've kind of sorted this shit out. Had some good conversations. Yeah, had a good night tonight. Come back. Thanks for being here. CDO8. Thanks for coming in. Do come back, man. Honestly, every New Zealand Wednesday night we do this. I might raid into somebody now. Folks I follow, there's Mike Moans, he's mini painting. Duggernaut, he's a Kiwi. He's doing some drawing. We got Esmeralda doing some painting. So Esmeralda painting, or I'd say Mike Moans painting. If anyone has any strong opinions, Mike Moons is painting a pirate, which is pretty cool. So I might raid into him. So good night, Mr. Herman. Yeah. Good night, come back. I enjoy you being here. It's fun. Okay, let's come back again, please. And maybe see you Sunday. We'll raid into Mike Moan's painting a pirate ship, alright? I know you're laughing your ass off, that's alright. Okay, guys. And CBO8, sorry you came in just the last second, but yeah, do come back, okay?